Quick SQL interview questions for data engineers. These are little tricky. Let me explain. The SQL question number 1, find second highest salary. This is the question mostly asked in almost all the interviews. Here I have just creating table employees. Employee ID is integer, employee name varchar 5050, salary integer. Insert into employees table, values 1 John 5000, 2 Mary 7000, 3 David 7000, 4 Sam 4000. So find the second highest salary. How to find it? You need to give select maximum of salary as second highest from employees, where salary is less than select maximum of salary from employees. Here in this subquery we are finding the maximum of salary, and then the salary which is less than maximum of salary, that will become a second highest salary. The second and frequently asked question is find duplicate records. Here there is a table creating, is a customers table, ID integer, email varchar 100, insert into customers with values 1 email ID, 2 email ID, 3 email ID. Find duplicate emails. Here select email ID and then doing the count of all from customers and group by email, and having count star is greater than 1. Here the important question is having count star greater than 1. The third question is latest record per customer. So create a table orders, order ID is integer, customer ID integer, amount is integer, order date, and inserting the sample values into orders table. The question is get latest order for each customer. Select star from, so inside of the query writing the select star, comma row number over partition by the customer ID, order with the order date description in the RN from orders, and then T, writing in the subquery, and where RN is equal to 1 will give the latest order. Why? Because we are doing the partition by an customer ID, and then order date is descending order, highest value come first. So when RN is equal to 1, it will give the latest record. Running total, cumulative sales, order ID amount, sum of the amount over order by the order date, that is like partition doing the order by the ordering, order by order date. Here not partition, this is like ordering as a running total from the orders table. When you get order ID, amount, and then running total. Why? In the Windows function in the over I am applying the sum of the amount. So this gives the cumulative sales. Customers with no orders. So you are creating a table customers, customer ID and then name. Create a table orders, order ID, customer ID. So we are creating two tables, customers and orders. The question is find the customers who never placed an order. So here the important is you need to check that join condition. First select C dot star, C means here customer, from customers. So we need to find the customers. So in the left join, the first we are doing with customers, and then orders is on the right side. On C dot customer ID is equal to O dot customer ID, where O dot customer ID, right side of customer ID is null. That is the tricky here. So that we will get the answer for this. And then sixth question is removing duplicate rows, keep latest. So we are creating a table employee logs, employee ID, salary and updated at date. The question is keep latest row for employee. How to keep latest row? Inside in the select all query, applying the row number over partition by the employee ID wise doing partitioning, order by the updated timestamp is in descending order from the employee logs. So that when you do the select all where RN is equal to 1, it gives only latest row per employee. That's why this per employee I am giving partition by the employee ID. And 7 is find consecutive login days. Create table logins, user ID, login date. So here the question is users logged in 3 consecutive days. So user row number plus date difference grouping. This is the concept. And swap values without temporary table. Create a table or seats, ID student varchar is 50. Swap adjacent students. So this way we can do it that values without temporary table. So highest salary department wise. So you have a create a table employee ID, department salary. So when you want to highest salary, you are partitioned by the department and order by the salary in descending order, so that when RN is equal to 1, it gives highest salary. Detect gaps in IDs. Create a table transactions, transaction ID. Find the missing IDs. select T1 is equal to transaction table, T2 is same table, we are doing self join, that is a left join, and then transaction ID plus 1, we need to find a missing ID, and transaction T1 dot transaction ID plus 1 is equal to T2 dot TXN ID, where T2 dot TXN ID is null. So the second table value is null, and then comparing with the plus 1 is equal to T2 dot TXN ID. So most concepts in data engineering is window functions, common table expressions, joins, duplicate removal, incremental, load logic, latest record logic, running totals, ranking, gap detection, SCD type 2. So the basic tips you need to follow is break into steps, use common table expressions, use row number, and explain the logic clearly. That's it.